We're about to take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Julie on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love doctor going live on the radio. Two mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up 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 on the radio. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics.
Watch this.
And a mind.
Hello.
What up? What up?
How are you guys? Long time no see.
Hey, doing good, feeling good, looking good. What more can I say?
Okay, nothing more to say. All right. How are you, Tuli? Everything okay with you?
All is well. All is well.
Awesome.
How about for you, ma'am? How's your week going?
It's going well. I'm happy that birthdays are coming up. But other than that, I'm feeling good. I'm like Love Doctor would say, right? Feeling good. I don't know about the rest, but
Hey, well, you got to work on the rest. Then you definitely got to work on the rest. You know what I'm saying?
and eating good.
Oh, I heard that. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Tula, what you got lined up for today, girl?
How was your week? I got whatever y'all want to talk about today. But how was your week, Wayno? We gotta check in with you.
Hey, my week went pretty good. Like all of us. Our day was very interesting today. We had a very interesting day today. Ain't that right, Tula?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. But the week's been going pretty good. Where I'm at, the weather is definitely changing, so that's definitely something.
Oh yeah, I went out tonight this afternoon about 6. Went outside and I was like, oh, it's a little chill. I liked it though.
Oh, I ain't complaining. I've been ready. I always been dressed for the occasion. If you ain't know.
Yeah, yes you have.
Oh, we know.
Oh yeah. I have always been dressed for the occasion. Absolutely.
What was the weather in the morning? Around 60s?
I don't know because it's like it was cold outside, but everywhere I went, the ladies kept telling me I was hot.
Where did you go?
Insane asylum.
No.
It was cold here too. It's getting cold here too, though. It's 60 in the morning and then it's warm during the day. So it's
That's right, Dr. Joe. You'll be coming in town in a little bit, won't you?
yes. I'm excited.
Ooh. You are?
Yes. I heard you taking us out to eat, Tuli and I. I'm super
Hey,
excited.
hey, wherever all y'all gotta do is name the location.
Oh,
Name
we
the
have it.
location. Tuli, where you want to go? Dr. Joe, what you got? What you got?
I'll let her choose. She's the guest.
Oh, she's a guest now.
I mean, yeah.
Kind of. Why not? You haven't seen me what? Since the trip.
Yep, that's been about a month and a half now, ain't it?
Really? I thought it was a little bit more.
A month and a half?
Yeah,
No, a lie.
yeah, that is.
September.
That's been a lot.
September.
It'll be going on 2 months real soon, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I feel like longer. I miss you guys.
Oh.
I do.
So what is your day like? Like what are you doing in like what's your regular tour? Are you like always in the house? Are you out going or what is it you doing?
I just started to go to the office twice a week. So today was an office day. To wake up
Hmm.
early in the morning, drive to the office,
Is that mandatory?
do some clients. Today I had we had the seminar about suicide awareness.
Yeah.
And things like that. Going out to the community, doing outreach, and then therapy. My last session was at home. So
Really? Hey, well, that's good too. I mean, I did therapy today. Also, I had to do on the fly therapy, as I was oftentimes, me as a certified life coach, I have to be prepared to adjust right there on the spot. Oftentimes, I can't always set up appointments and schedule. Sometimes the clients
right.
need, attention right then and there on the spot, and I have to be willing to adjust on the fly. And that's what I actually end up doing. So I end up performing therapy uh, today as well. It's very interesting encounters. People are wonderful, and the mind and the way it perceives different things is really, really wonderful too. Oh yeah,
Wow. Wow.
oh yeah,
So you did therapy on the go.
oh yeah. You got to do therapy on the go. You got to do therapy on the go. And what a lot of people don't know is being a certified life coach is very, very challenging. The reason is you have to take what people are saying. You have to see what it is, even though they're saying something, they're actually trying to imply something else. And you got to be prepared to respond in a way that you can get to the conclusion of the matter in a precise fashion. It's a lot. And you got to do all of that without offending the person, too. And actually, sometimes you have to offend the person, but you have to be able to bring them back at the end so that they don't feel as offended. So you gotta know how to punch them, choke them, then resuscitate them. You know what I mean, and tickle them. You know what I mean, to make them laugh. All the same thing. This all in
Wow.
all in 30
Talent.
second conversation. You know what I'm saying? And at the
So
end of it, they be
attack
like,
them.
"Oh,
Attack
you
them.
all right."
So attack them, but make them feel good.
You gotta attack them. You gotta
That's a
attack them.
talent.
You
That's a
got
talent.
to.
I don't know how to do that,
You
but
gotta attack them. I don't like attacking people, but you have to attack them. When you attack them, they be like, "Oh man, oh," you know what I'm saying. If you don't attack them, then they'll just keep going in the wrong direction. But when you attack them, it kind of like you take control of the situation. They'll look at you, you know what I'm saying, and they'll hear that bass in your voice. And they be like, "Oh, he's serious."
oh, so they take you serious that way. That's a new technique. Do you know what kind of like technique that is? Because
Yeah,
I
it's actually called leading from the back. So it's something I've been working on. Oh yeah. It's something I'm working on. It's called leading from the back. It's what I'm saying. All the leaders are out in
wow,
the front. I'm way in the back, but I'm actually leading them. You know what I mean? But they think they lead me. It's called leading from the back.
you
Oh yeah.
tricked their mind.
Yeah, you gotta trick their mind. You gotta trick their mind.
Who
Oftentimes
coached
people,
you? Who
hmm?
coached you this? Who coached you? Because I know you got coached before. Now you were
Well,
coached.
what it is it's more throughout life has been my coach. It's going through life and making the wrong decision after wrong decision after wrong decision, staying in trouble, getting out of trouble, getting back in trouble, getting out of trouble, getting back in trouble, and the whole revolving circle and all this other things. That is the thing that kind of more so has really, really helped me. You know what I'm
Very
saying?
interesting. Very
Oh
interesting.
yeah, oh
Wow.
yeah, oh yeah. When you say that,
Thank you
Tula?
for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
That you can help? No. But yes, I understand that back and forth thing, and I understand that attack and insulting. I understand that
That's a
about
technique of his.
that technique. I mean,
And
you definitely
do you understand why you have to insult the person?
I
know
don't
why.
know.
The reason why you have to insult the person is because the person insults you first. It's not like you're just insulting an innocent person, an innocent bystander. The person insults you first, so then you insult them to a degree where they get offended by it. They're like, hold up. It's kind of like kids in school. Oftentimes, what kids will do, they'll actually go and they'll pick on each other. And what they'll do, they'll go to one person. They might take a piece of paper, they might throw it at the person, and the person responds by spitting in their face and slapping them. And they be like, "Whoa, that piece of paper did not constitute you spitting on me and slapping me. It's no way you took it too far." And you have to remind them at that point, you started this. The way I react, that's on me, but you're the actual one that instigated me. So you have to remind them of that. And when people are reminded of that, then they'll back up and they'll listen to what you have to say. They'll process it and they'll make the right adjustment.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Certified life coaching. That just comes from time after making the wrong decision, after doing things the wrong way, constantly, constantly, constantly. Because the reality of it is, it's more about learning what your purpose is in life. Do you guys know what your purpose is? Resident Joe, what's your purpose? Two, what's your purpose?
My purpose in this world to live how I'm supposed to be living and be useful in this world. However, I can be useful.
Tuli, what
My
about you?
my purpose is created daily. Whatever I do that day, that was my purpose. My purpose
Right.
is whatever it was.
I like that.
Yeah,
Write that down. That's from you, Tuli.
yeah,
My purpose is created daily.
it
I
really
like
Yeah,
is.
that's
that.
from Tuli. Yeah,
Oh,
that's from Tuli.
I
And
write
I
that.
think I
Write that
think
out.
to a
Write
degree,
that.
I think both of y'all are saying the same thing. You might have just answered it a different way. But I think the essence of actually what all three of us is saying is actually we're all saying the same thing in terms of the way that I word it is our purpose is to solve problems. Every day we're encountered with problems and we have to learn how to solve those problems. People can actually measure their productivity based off of their ability to solve problems.
I agree.
That's ultimately what your purpose is, and the way that we can prove that's our purpose is through logic and look at the evidence. Literally every day I'm faced with new problems, and the minute I solve a problem I get more problems. I got to continue to solve those problems throughout life, and that's
Mhm.
ultimately what it is when it comes through me being a certified life coach. I've been experiencing so many problems. That's actually how you have to do it, is what I'm telling you, and that's what actually works for me. And that's what makes everybody different. When you solve problems, what makes you feel the most comfortable? What's your most comfortable approach with solving that problem? And that what makes you and gives you your personality and your effectiveness. So that's what I learned, and I started doing the leading from the back is what I've actually done. Oh yeah.
Interesting. I mean, that's interesting. Usually, well, you know what? That makes sense. If you can lead from the back, that means you're able to follow and lead at the same time.
Bam, 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 bam. You gotta be able to follow. You gotta be
Got
able to follow. And I'll
if
tell you,
right.
something that makes it something that makes you a better leader is actually having or working for horrible bosses. If you guys have ever worked for horrible
Yes,
bosses, then when it's your time to be a supervisor or something, you tend to be a little better because you learn every single thing of what not to do.
very true.
And that's
Very
been my life patterns is constantly learning what not to do because I think I've done everything wrong. Now I just start doing the opposite. Ain't that right, Tula?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but enough about me and my certified life coachedness and me going around today therapizing people.
I was
You need,
my about I actually wanted to ask Resident Joe about her the suicide situation that you were on, that you classes you took, or whatever session. I want to know about that. I actually had some training this week also in reference to that, for something that I'm planning to do. But and when you look at what was, the things you have, they give you the scenarios and tell you what is expected from you with Georgia and the codes and things like that. How you're supposed to report things and pay attention to kids and situations. And I'm just wondering, how do these people actually see these kids that slip through the cracks? The people that actually get able to commit suicide. What happened there? Did somebody see it, didn't say anything, or they missed the clues? Because according to what I was just trained on, I mean, you have to like report if you hear the smallest thing, you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to report it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just I was just kind of surprised by that. How
Yeah.
alert and how attentive someone in a position over authoritative position is supposed to be over kids. This was in reference
Yeah.
to
Oh, reference to kids. Um.
kids.
Well, yeah. That's the thing that was the one of the trainings. I mean, one of the things that we mentioned in our seminar today was that if you see any of the symptoms, like depression, change of moods, character change, not wanting to clean themselves, shower, not changing their clothes, just change of character, like how your child is, and they change, something's going on. So you got to report it. So you as a mother would report it. But what if this child does not have the parents, or
Yeah.
parents are not on top of them? So usually that's how suicide happens when usually the parents are not on top of them, or maybe they're working 24/7, and then the kids, nobody was able to check on them. And that's why we were putting it on teachers today. Like, hey, teachers, if you see this, please report it, because we don't know how this kid's life is at home. So the suicide uh, events that happen, it's because the child usually has been neglected by the family. And it starts by there. Depression happens because the child felt alone, and then eventually, if the child felt alone, there was no one there to ask for help or take him to get help, and he eventually committed suicide. um and one of the things is like, when you feel suicidal, you kind of want to, this is what they said, you kind of want to live and you kind of don't want to live. So it's really hard to tell, like, okay, I don't know what's happening. I even raised my hand. I was like, okay, so you kind of want to live, but you kind of don't want to live. Like, how do you, it's 50-50.
Right.
It's really being on top. But, good parents usually tend to catch that. But if the kids don't have parents on top, usually, I mean, I don't want to blame it on the parents all the 100%, but
Right.
majority of the times is because they haven't had family members to help them out or take them somewhere to get help. For children. For adults, the same. Depression, loneliness. They don't have many people around to look after them. Yeah. Even those the people that are able to work and they look happy, and then they're depressed but they look happy, and you're like, what's going on with these people? And when they get home, they're alone usually. You never know people's life. That's why be kind, because you never know what people are going through in the privacy of their home.
Very, very true. Very, 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 very true. Very true.
Wow,
Very.
that's some interesting stuff. That's an interesting take right there. Any of you guys ever felt suicidal?
Never suicidal, but like younger, there was a phase of my life where I didn't. It wasn't that I never thought that I wanted to kill myself or commit suicide, but that thought where I didn't care if I lived or not, which it can count as like, okay, you don't care about life, uh, but not wanting to kill myself or anything like that. But I feel like everybody is gone through depression, and depression leads you to be like, all right, so if I live well, if I don't, it's okay.
Mm,
So
mm. You know what? Is that some of the reason that kind of made you lean towards actually wanting to become a therapist?
no, becoming a therapist just literally just happened in my life. I was not planning it. I didn't think of it. I always liked helping people, for sure, and I always had that. I love talking to people and telling them, hey, maybe this is something you can do. And eventually I felt like, why not get paid? So, but I was
Oh.
doing it for a long time before that, and I was helping the children. The kids would come to my, for I was teaching. I was
Oh,
teaching high school kids,
Mm.
but the kids would come to my room and just talk to me about their problems. Like, hey, I feel like killing myself, or hey, I'm using drugs, or and so I felt like these kids needed more than a teacher. Like they needed help. You know.
Hmm.
I did not know that the school is actually schools have been sued for negligence in reference to kids
Yeah.
and suicide because of like they didn't tell the parents that the child appeared to be suicidal,
Yeah.
um, or um, allow the kids to get assistance because they were at risk of suicide.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And
Wow.
Definitely, schools have been sued for that. I learned that too. Did not know that, but I learned that too.
yeah, because
Wow.
a lot of people don't pay attention to, it's just a kid or whatever, like, get over it. But reality is that these kids are going through a lot. So I remember, like, on my 20s, I was teaching, and one girl jumped off a building.
What?
Yeah, she jumped off the building because of depression, but she had gone to her counselor before anything, and nobody paid attention to her. But she was showing symptoms. I
Really?
just started my career, and then this teachers got in trouble because the other students say like she was reporting her feelings and nobody really was paying attention. And that week, she jumped off her building. I think it was like the 30th floor,
Wow.
32nd floor.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she
You know
jumped.
what? That's
Yeah.
something I've actually I remember, so I went to a white school, a white college, and the school across the street from me was a black college. And I remember at the white college, or actually in the news, you would always see bad stories about things that's going on in the black college. But I remember one day I was walking around campus and was trying to get around campus, and traffic was just horrible. And I seen a bunch of police cars and all this stuff. And I was asking the kid, I was like, what happened? It was like, oh, it's somebody, a student just jumped off the building at the top of the building. They just jumped out of their window of their dorm and committed suicide. And I was like, what?
Wow.
All these police was there, but it wasn't reported on the news at all. Because I
Yeah.
then learned that my the white college actually owned the news station, so that's why they didn't report it. But I was just like, wow, that
Mm.
right there is really, really interesting. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And it,
Yep.
it affected a lot of the kids too, you know. And I feel like after that happens, therapists should come into the school and give speeches about, hey, if you feel depressed, let's do something about it. But no, they just brushed it off because it was a low income high school. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So speaking about high school and things of that nature, in your opinion, I'm just curious because I was doing some thinking earlier this week about the curriculum as far as schools going from actually kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. And since we've all been, in kindergarten through 12th grade, in terms of curriculum, what do you two ladies feel as though the most important thing should be?
should be as what they teach now, or they should implement stuff that I feel is important.
What? What?
What they should implement that you feel is important?
Uh, Life skills. Build credit, get jobs, basic life skills. I feel like our kids are not learning that. They're like, I can't remember, I'm not using the math that I was taught in high school, and I'm not using this history I was taught in high school. So I feel like basic life skills so this kids can survive out here.
Tulu, what about you?
Mm, reading comprehension.
Oh, explain.
I think because a lot of times we read things and we don't understand what was the message in it, and we don't comprehend. A lot of times we read things, but the comprehension part I think is very key with the lot. The most with everyday things. If you don't comprehend what I'm trying to tell you to do, you can't do it. If it's a simple task at work, um, your comprehension skills, if you don't understand and you just don't get what I'm saying, that can hinder you, outside of school. So I just think comprehension, reading comprehension, teaching the kids how to comprehend what I'm saying, what's being told to them or asked of them. I think that's important. And I think it's important.
So let me ask you something, because you say reading comprehension. I perceive comprehension to be something totally separate than reading. I don't see them as synonymous. So I totally get what you're saying when you explain the importance of comprehension, but elaborate more on the importance of reading.
Well,
Because I don't read every day, and you say you read every day, but I don't read every day.
you have to read something every day. You read
Text
something every day. If you read a contract, you're reading something, and you have to understand what you just read in order to know what you have to do. You read something every day. If it's the back of a bottle, a pill bottle, you're reading something every day. You read every day, and it's very important that you understand what you just read. Because you can get a pill bottle and you can say, okay, take 3 pills, but you didn't comprehend it was like 3
Yeah.
times a day. You just taking 3 pills, but it's 3 times. You forgot that 3 times a day.
So believe it or not, in school, reading was not one of my strengths, simply because what we had to read was totally different. I mean, we had to read things that plays, Shakespeare stuff, books that were totally boring. They were just really, really long.
Yeah.
History class, you just did a bunch of reading, all these different histories. You have to memorize all these different dates and all that stuff. So reading was never something that was more pleasurable and desired for me. It was almost like, I'm forced to read this because I have to read it. I mean, I understand how to write and I understand how to read in terms of I'm literate. I'm literate, but it was never something that was pleasurable to me. And then, in my reading classes, they would also have us write papers and write different topics. And they would always, I felt as though the grading was subjective to however the teacher felt about that particular student because you really couldn't justify anything. So reading to me was always a bad experience. It was just
Me
boring.
too. Me too. I feel you on that one.
That's what's that reading comprehension. If it is. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
But comprehension is like a big.
If Tony's saying something, I think he has his mic on mute, so he has to unmute his mic.
I think he's
if he's
singing.
saying anything.
I think he's singing.
Yeah, his phone his microphone is on mute. He has to unmute it.
I think he's doing that by choice, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Strange.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with y'all about the curriculum. Some things that are the most important, I feel as though they're really not even taught in school, and some of those things is definitely a mixture of what both of you just finished saying, and even to add on to more. It's important about food. They need to know how to get their food, how to grow their food. I think they also need to know about shelter. They need to know how can they go and get a shelter? How do they get a house? How do they get an apartment? I think kids need to know that, especially if you're going to spend 12 years of your life from K to 12. By the time you're 18 doing something, you should at least need to know how do I get food? How do I get shelter? Another thing is in terms of their actual health. I'm not talking about the organs inside the body and all this stuff. I mean health as far as nutrition. What is your blood pressure? All this thing. How do you regulate your blood pressure? How do you eat? The importance of things that you should eat, that you shouldn't eat. All those different types of things. Illnesses, sicknesses. Those kids need to know if they're black or whatever race they are. What are the most common different things that people of that race struggle, and need to understand the actual significance of health as far as that you're eating. Those are all three things. Another thing they need to learn about is transportation. How do I go and I get my own transportation and things like that? Ultimately, I think they need to teach how to ultimately become independent. By the time you're 18, you need to know all these different things, but school, the curriculum as it is, doesn't really teach those things. And those are the most important things. And those are basically the 4 or 5 reasons why all of us have to work and we're all striving to do so that we can get those 5 things, those necessities.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Although
Oh,
that's part of the they should be learning that. What?
Yeah. At home, you said, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I would say is particularly school, because I'm only worried about what's going on in school, the curriculum as far as school. What I did before years ago, I was the president of a particular organization, and during that organization, we had a reach out community outreach program where we would go out to the different boys and girls clubs and things of that nature. And as I would do that and go from different boys and girls club, I really be able to check the pulse of what's actually going on in the community and where the lack is and where we actually need to do it. And we will always end up with adults saying, we need education, we need education, we need education. But the adults, on the other hand, they never really taken time out to actually look at what education is as far as the curriculum. So what I
Yeah.
did is I met with the boys and girls club and I got with the kids, understand their perspective, and I got with the adults and I actually went over the actual curriculum. And a lot of them didn't know it. And by the end of that meeting, that discussion, they were like, you know what? A lot of this stuff that's in the Department of Education curriculum, it's a waste of time.
It's true. It's true. It's a waste of time. I agree.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. Tony, how you doing tonight?
Wow. As always, I'm alive, so that's always a good thing. To be on top of the ground ain't on top of me. But we making it. I'm just listening. I think the key with education, I mean, everything has to be nurtured. I think if you're just trying to give a person curriculum, it's not nurtured when it's given to them, then you can't expect them to get it. You know, when a mother feeds a child, she doesn't just give them the food. She'll herself sometimes, you know, to get the child to persuade them, she would taste it herself first. It would be maybe she would do a game with them, make it like it's an airplane coming or something. But it got the child involved, and you got the participation you need in order to become successful, to get them to become acclimated to something you're trying to get them to do. I think today it's about sit down, shut up, don't move, and then we just start piling information. The information a lot of times it's so complex, and it's so much you put on the child at an early age, so they don't actually get the part of the child. No, a child only retains so much. Some kid skill level is always above others. You always have that, you know, unique pattern where you have some kids that have a better comprehension skill, can catch on, and depending on where you start at with them and how you give them the information. But then for the average child, it's a lot. I mean, when I was in the first grade, we wasn't doing division and, you know, trying to move. And then, you know, third grade algebra, nobody was taking algebra in elementary when I was in school. You taking algebra, you was in high school. So, you know, just they pile so much on them to it's like burning their brains out. And, you know, the child just kind of fades off, and it's not taught to them in a way to make that's an accepted program, or getting them to understand why, or actually, you know, getting them involved in the learning process and getting them to understand the importance of it, other than you're going to wind up in jail, you're going to wind up dead in the streets or in a gang somewhere. That's not the persuasion you want to use in trying to get a child to educate them. You want to get them to know and learn it, you know, from a fun set, then get them to learn and mature the need and necessity for, you know, being able to grasp concepts, you know, teaching them how the importance. And a lot of times kids just more or less recite. They kind of catch on, but they more or less teach them like ABC, A, B, C, D. I heard one of my grandsons, he sung the ABCs to me, and he got to the bed, what it said? Q, R, X, Y, and Z. I said, stop. I said, and is not an alphabet. I said, don't say that. And his father told me, it's what that, you know, they teach him that as a song. I said, they're teaching him incorrectly, okay? That's not correct. Tell him and Z. That's wrong. And is not a letter. Stop him. And, you know, he was like, well, you know, I said, well, you know, however you want to do it. But when you start teaching them things wrong from the beginning, you can't expect to try to correct it later on. There's something to learn, so learn behavior. They're trying to use home, but you still got to teach it correctly. And he told me he knew his alphabets. I said, you know your alphabets? A, B. I said, no, that's not your alphabets. I said, alpha, beta. Then I'm starting trying to delta. I said, those are alphabets. Those, you know, your ABCs. He said, well, you know, that's what they call them in school. That's what they call them in school. I said, again, it's still incorrect. It doesn't make sense to start them off wrong. You teach them, okay, this is what they're going to say. This is the correct way. So now he can learn to decipher. You know, it's not go tell your teacher, they don't know what they're saying. They're teaching correct. No, we're not doing that. We're just trying to make sure that we start them out with the right premise. Because you start out there, you might well start them out with the boogeyman. You might well start them out with the good fairy. You might well start them out with Santa Claus and just break him later. All these are bad behaviors that hurt us later.
Yeah. And you spot on. I remember me coming up in school, I made the A honor roll on a consistent basis.
No,
like a discipline problem. I was always a discipline problem. No, literally, I did straight A's.
And I did too.
What I did was actually I would parrot all the talking points. I just knew to memorize all the words because I could remember stuff really easy. So I remember the teacher said this is going to be on the exam or this is going to question. I would just remember everything. So I would literally be able to go back and repeat and parrot everything that the teacher said, but I didn't have any command of subject. I didn't know what it was. I can tell you a word. I can tell you the definition of that word. I still gonna know how to use that word in a sentence and all that stuff. But I just knew everything the teacher said. And because I was able to repeat everything back from what the teacher said, I continued to score straight A's. So I just learned a different memory exercise, how to increase my memory, how to memorize words, you know, getting flashcards, writing a word, flipping it over, was definitely, you know, doing all those different types of things. And literally, the minute I finished taking the test, I'll forget everything and I wouldn't learn everything. I wouldn't know what I just did, but I just learned the whole purpose of how to pass a test through memorizing and literally parroting what it is that the teacher wants us to do. And I did that from K, going all the way up, kindergarten, first grade, second, all that other stuff and everything else. And I think that's what school actually more so programmed me to just, whatever the teacher says, that's the reality, that's the right answer. If as long as I remember everything the teacher said, I'm gonna get an A, and that's just whatever. That's all I would do.
Gotcha.
Wow.
And well, yeah, what you gonna say? No, I'm listening to you talking about the memorization, and that's what a lot of people do.
Yeah, but I feel like I used to dislike school, like because I'm not good at memorizing stuff. I need to look and understand in order for it to stay in my brain.
Your phone's breaking up a little bit, Dr. Joe. You can repeat yourself.
I said for me, I'm not good at memorizing things. I need to be taught and I need to understand it in order for it to stay in my brain. If not, I will forget about it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But you probably were not a straight A student, were you?
I was.
You made straight A's the whole time, and you couldn't remember nothing.
I had to understand. So what I had to do is I had to go home, and my mom would sit me down in the desk and make me read it like multiple times until I understood. Or she would tell my brother to like explain it to me, and then I'll understand it. But I wasn't good at memorizing. If I wasn't understanding what the word meant, I would not be able to use it in a test, or I just wasn't good at memorizing. It's in school. Like it's like a cookie cutter. Not everyone is the same.
Right.
So in school, if you made A's or you made straight A's in school, it's because you learned how to memorize stuff. The kids who are not good at memorizing, they were making like C's and D's and F's.
No, sir.
Like the kids who could memorize stuff really good, they typically don't fail the exam.
Wow.
The exams in school are set up. They're not set up to actually teach you so that you can learn. They're actually taught up to teach you, hey, what I'm telling you is correct, and that's it. For a good example, I remember in school, they were talking about the 9 planets, and they told us that there was 9 planets and all this stuff. My very extraordinary mother just gave us 9 pizzas, something like that. I know that's a mnemonic device they made us memorize or whatever the case may be. The reality of the matter, if we would actually look into it, some of us kind of was like, hold on, there ain't no planets. I remember they were telling us about these planets. I was like, how do you know that these are planets? You ain't never been there. What are you saying? How you know? You know what I mean? But it was just more so of in school, the way it is, the kids who will actually comply and that aren't as creative, those are the kids that have the highest scores. The kids that really are the most creative and the most that have more original thoughts, those are the kids who actually score lower because they question what it is that's actually going on. And I actually had experienced that when I was doing those Boys and Girls Club reach out, because whenever we go talk to the kids at the Boys and Girls Club, typically whenever they have speakers come in, the speakers will always talk to them about, hey kids, you want to go to college? What are you going to major in? Different things like that. You should do this in college. Or what college you going to go to? Oh, y'all need to go to college. But in the meantime, the majority of those kids felt as though they are not college bound. And I noticed that when I was talking to them, I was like, y'all don't seem too thrilled about college. What is it that's going on? And, when you start listening to what some of the kids are saying, they're saying, hey, well, I don't do too good in school. My scores aren't really high. And they told me that, I need to make these A's and B's. Or I need to be in these AP classes and college prep classes for me to go to college. And I really don't want to do that. I really need to try to, I really want to get my own place. I don't like staying with my mom. I really want to get my own. These are kids saying stuff like this, you know what I mean? And that's what they want to work on. The other's like, hey, I want to get some new clothes. I really want to focus on trying to get money. And I need to figure out how to get more money because I have friends going to college, but I think college is just not for me. And I don't know any alternatives. So they tend to have a lot of good stuff, but they felt as though they were failures simply because college wasn't a route for them. So the initiative that we had to do is I started targeting kids who felt as though they're not college bound, and I provided them with a lot of different options.
What options did you provide?
So one of the easiest things that I provided them is I told them a story about the whole aspect of how I started out selling coupons. And they were like, what do you mean you're selling coupons? I say, actually what I did, I say, what you can actually do is, let's say I use an example of a box of fruit roll-ups and a box of Gushers. All the kids like fruit roll-ups and Gushers. And I told them, I say, I was able to get this coupon. I said, I got this coupon where I was able to get free boxes of Gushers and free boxes of fruit roll-ups. I say, I then take those boxes of fruit roll-ups and I take those and I sell them to other people. And because I didn't have to pay much money for them, I was able to sell them, and I was able to get more money back from doing that. And they were like, "Oh yeah, I know some kids. They sell food. They sell candy at school. They make a lot of money. You think that's what they doing? Stuff like that." And they started thinking about other different types of things in different ways like that on how to generate income. It actually puts them more in a mindset of where it should be when we talk about those 4 and 5 necessities that need to be taught as far as curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I still have to understand. I'm hands on. I gotta like experience. I gotta see. Explain me what this means. So where can I use it? How can I use it? I used to go home asking my brother so many questions, like, how can I use this word? Explain this word to me. I had to understand. And I wasn't with memorizing stuff just to memorize it.
Yeah, so I started off going to a Christian school, and they would make us memorize Bible verses. And I would always be the smart kid because I could memorize and I could quote the most Bible verses because I could remember all that stuff. I ain't know what none of that stuff meant, but I could quote it. I could parrot all the different talking points. I could quote and memorize all the different books of the Bible in chronological order and everything. And I had absolutely no concept of what it is that I was doing. But as far as remembering and repeating it, I could just do it. And the only reason I did is because I learned that if I did it, people would say that I'm smart and they would view me as, hey, I get an A. And it also helped provide free time so I could have bad behavior, because as long as you're bad in school, you make good grades, you get a pass.
Wow, you were bad.
So
Well, speaking of school and all that, Miami school board rejects the plans to observe LGBTQ history.
Whoa! Wow! Really?
That's great.
Yeah, they decided to scrap a measure that would have taught, and they also scrapped the measure that would have taught 12th graders about 2 Supreme Court cases impacting the queer community. So they decided against. They wanted to make October lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer month, queer history month. They were trying in Miami, and they actually voted against it.
I'm
Hey, well,
happy.
that's good. So it did not pass.
No, it did not. Not this year, anyway. Not this year.
Oh,
I'm happy.
that's really interesting. Then
And a
that's
lot of
really interesting.
the one of the main reasons why they wanted it, the parents that were there wanted it, is because they said it was mostly to recognize the dignity and the respect for others. So they were trying to say, if you give a person a history, anything you get information about, they want you to know and to understand. So it was kind of creating a
you can hear us. Your phone is doing something. We couldn't make out what you said.
mine.
Yeah.
Your mic went out.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm
And
good.
Yeah, I found that article, Thule.
Down one. Yeah, okay. Yep. Florida.
That's a long letter to describe yourself.
What?
Lazy, gutless bastard that's queer.
Wow.
Hey, that's what it stands for. That's the new definition of that acronym. Absolutely.
Wow.
Or that's questionable. That's
Wow.
Oh, it looked like they had a lot of people out there protesting against it. That's good that they shut it down.
Now it might have been against. It was for and against. They had a lot of people for it. Like I said, they had a lot of people for it and against it. So, but the
Wow.
voted against it.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
All
we
right.
on now to Morgan County, Georgia. I want to ask y'all opinion about this.
Oh yeah, I want to hear all about this one right here because I really don't know too many things. This is something that you brought to my attention. I don't know much about it at all.
Watch this video.
I haven't heard about this.
We can't see it right now. Are you trying to get it to me?
Oh, having technical
Morgan County
difficulties.
Charter School's bus driver is out of a job tonight. The video appears to show the driver getting physical with two students in his bus. NewsNet reporter Joy Dukes tells us the parents want to see charges filed.
Do y'all hear the sound?
Hey, that mom tells me she, like many others in the community, found out about the incident after seeing video of it circulating online. Well, that video prompted school officials to ask the Morgan County Sheriff's Office to open an investigation. Naquania Carter says her 6 and 10-year-old children were traumatized after this encounter with their bus driver last Friday. Video of the incident, now under investigation by the Morgan County Sheriff's Office, appears to show the driver pushing the 6-year-old into a seat.
My son is terrified. He was scared. He called for his sister. As you can hear, he was crying. He was 4 or 5.
Carter says it all started after the 6-year-old didn't comply with the driver's order to take a seat in the back of the bus.
I don't understand why he told us in the back of the bus, being that the high schoolers are back there and the primaries normally sit right behind the bus driver.
When her 10-year-old daughter tried to intervene, video appears to show the driver shove her too.
I was stunned. The emotional damage that it did. My kids don't want to go back to school.
Carter told Fox 5 this isn't the first time her family has complained to school officials about this driver and believes he targeted them for a reason.
I've never put my hands on a kid. I used to drive school buses too.
In response to a request for comment, a spokesperson for the school system released a statement saying, quote, "We took immediate action, including notifying the Morgan County Sheriff's Office, who we are working with during the investigation. We cannot share further details or comment due to this being a personal issue. However, the driver was terminated." The Carters say they've since taken their children out of the school system altogether, and they're anxiously awaiting an update on whether that driver will face charges as well. I'm told the Sheriff's Office is finishing up its investigation, and it will turn its findings over to the Morgan County DA's office for them to make a determination about whether to pursue charges. We're told that the decision on that should be coming in the next few days. In Morgan County, Joy Dukes, Fox 5 News.
Need to
Woo! Well, facts. Well, supposedly the boy did not comply. I don't know what he was doing. He was calling for his sister, sitting in the front. The man pushed him, and the sister came up to protect her brother and to see what was going on, and she got pushed. They fired the guy, the driver. What do you think? Charges or no charges?
Definitely press.
No charges, head busted. Can't sit around letting these. I mean, certain things you know what to do and know what not to do. Fortunately, these people have been doing things so long. This comes from memorization. Remembering that the so-called Negro is below the white specimen and the white culture. So therefore, it entitles him, and he's justifying his actions of attack against us and even his hate against us because of memorization. They're constantly going over these things repetitively with their children, and they express the need of why. Because if you don't hold them down, they'll take everything. They'll take over. You'll be under them. So they teach it in an impressionable way that's just effective, that they don't ever forget how to mistreat us. So memorization can be good, and a lot of times it can be bad.
Add that together. Yep.
I see we have it up on the screen.
Huh?
We have a comment on the screen.
What?
Yeah, I read the comment on the screen.
It's on the screen. Did one of you guys write that?
No.
Oh, he wrote it. That's what it is. He the one that wrote it.
Oh, you think I did it?
Yeah, he wrote that.
So everybody know what lazy. Everybody know what LGBTDEOPNC stand for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know what that means? Foolishness. A bunch of foolishness going on. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So
Why even get in the school system to educate our kids about homosexuality? Why there's a lot of things going on today, just in the world in general. And if you look at the destruction of the young child's mind and taking those fundamental foundation away from it, is how we continue to have a destructive society. Even with our young people now, the non-caring for life, even for themselves or for others. He had a thing in school. I remember they would teach you how to share. They will put things on the table and teach you how to share. Put you in a group, put this down and say, okay, you guys share it. Whether it was coloring, put so many crayons. It wasn't enough crayons at the time to go around and get it every child. Plus it gave them the idea, understanding, learning how to share. Put them down, share. So if someone has a color you need, you ask them, can you use it when they're finished? If it was scissors, you had something that you was doing as a group, you would put a pair of scissors on the table with the group of kids and tell them, share it. There was never a time I remember we were rolling across the ground fighting because we didn't understand the definition of sharing, and you learn how to wait. Someone else had it. That's what they had to wait your turn. Everything was about turns, waiting. Nope, this group go up now. You break them in the group. This group go now. Okay, now this group. There are so many things that we're missing today, and it's hurting us, in the principle thing.
Yep.
That is so true. There is that simple thing, like you said, wait your turn, sharing. There's so many kids that they're not taught that. And I don't know if it's because the parents feel that they have an entitlement to do whatever and they can just do and go and say and be whatever, that they bring it on the kids, and then there's just no order. The kids don't respect order. They think they can just talk wherever they say whatever they want to say it to whoever they want to say, free. If you're free, express yourself, say whatever. But there's an order. I think that is I definitely agree with you. That is missing. It's a simple thing, but it's missing.
I remember, you would even dismiss classes by numbers or different things, or by halls, and all those things is taught. First hall, third hall. Then you're like, how do they do this? I'm calling by halls. I'm not necessarily calling in order, but the numbers are still the same. There's a lot of things we taught going to lunch, alphabetical order. You do so alphabetical order, easy way to get them. So you start teaching them, they learn what comes behind what. If my last name is Smith and somebody else's last name is Sims, then you start understanding who will go first. Well, I'm SMI, they SIM, so you start learning. I comes before the M, so that puts in front. So all these things they taught us, you learn who you were behind. You can tell, hey, you're not supposed to be in front. Then the other kid let you know, wait, everybody knew what they were supposed to be, and you learn how to stay in that order. We don't do anything. And then, later in high school, I don't even remember in high school them calling just saying, pet rally, everybody just come. They said, no, we call them by halls. For everybody loose and going, you start teaching anarchy, chaos. So you do things in order to keep things from being chaotic. I'm bringing the whole entire school into one area. If I ask group come in for fire, something break out or happen, so I bring it in a certain order. You teach them, okay, hell, wait till your class, wait till even there, everybody in the hall couldn't just shoot out the door. Teachers knew, okay, now go. And we didn't have people on the ground. We went on each other. You start to teach them from the elementary times of the principles of learning to wait, learn to pay attention to certain things.
They just respect. I will respect. This is your time to go. And you're before. It teaches her. That's why I say it's simple, but it's so important. It teaches you to respect the fact that this is that person's time to talk, or that person's time to walk, or that person's time to do whatever, and you just wait your turn. It's simple, but it's missing. It is missing.
I think we're missing what's happening. Why are parents not implementing, or school system not implementing these things that are like basic skills?
You mind repeat what you just said, Dr. Joe?
I'm saying, what do you think is happening that parents are not implementing this basic skill, even in school? Like, I don't feel like they find it as important. Like, what do you think is happening? Why is the world changing? They finding to teach LGBTQ more important than teaching these kids on how to respect each other or order of things. What's happening?
Right.
No, I don't know. It's everything because people are finding new ways to do things. I think, you don't dress like you used to dress. Everything that's old, people pushing it away. They don't do things like you said traditional. Like just say for instance, women cooking, women taking care of the home. Being the home the breadwinner. I mean the men being the breadwinners only or whatever or whatever. But a lot of look at it is timing, old time, old fashioned, and that's why they try. I think they really have effort to get away from certain things in order. I think it's a lot of people that try to get away from order, and they want to be like free. I just want to do me. I don't want to be under. Like I don't want to go to a church or be under somebody telling me what I got to do. I just want to do me. I want to be free.
Right.
I think people
Like
are
free.
people are really set against order.
No rules, no restrictions.
That's a new style that now everybody's like, be free minded, be free, just let it go, like be flowy. I'm like,
do you,
right? Like YOLO, you only live once. Okay, it's a crazy world. I'm like,
you. That's right.
Oh yeah. And speaking of doing you, today I had an experience that I've experienced several other times in the past, but the more and more that I see it, the more and more, I just want to compliment Tony. He's definitely been on par with a lot of different things that he's done. Oh, he just left.
No.
Yeah, I think he just walked away from the camera. I don't know. Oh, he's there? Okay.
I
just want to
I had to plug up my phone.
Oh, okay. Definitely wanted to just tell him, seeing what it is that you do, the talent, the gift, your the character, the example that you displayed as far as manhood, as far as just being an example, being there on all different levels, platforms, every category that I can possibly think of. I just want to say special how I do to you for just really being that example on a consistent basis, day in, day out, through the years, just being able to know you and see what it is that you do. I definitely, it's an opportune chance to experience once again what it is that you do and your passion for what it is that you do. And just the courage. What is the foundation of the courage that you have? Is that something you always had or just over the years it grows? Just what is it?
That's a tight one to explain. No, I didn't. I was a person that always well liked for the most part. People that didn't like me were because, growing up as a little kid, girls, a girl like you, another little boy, they couldn't process, oh, I want to fight you. I don't like you because some girl like you or something, whatever people think was that happened. So I was always a person that pushed for everybody that liked me. And, being a state where it puts me to where, I get up and I have to sit and I just process in my mind. I know, I make enemies. I know people going to hate me. But at the end of the day, I'm really trying to do. And, and I stand up to do that. It's not easy. When you get up, they're going to hate you. That people not going to like you. That people going to want you dead the whole night. But at the end of the day, you look at, why am I really doing this? Am I doing it for that reason, or am I doing it because, what expresses or gets across to a person to really make them change? I've listened to people talk nice and do things, and it can work in certain occasions. But there are some people, because of where they're at and what they've done, they just need the heart cut. Just tell me the truth as plain as I can get it without any feelings. And let me process that if that's something, because, I know how I felt. I know where I was. I've been to funerals and, everybody the dread of funerals and all, and it happens. Of course it is, you the loss of, someone you care about. It's the fact, you think about your own mortality as well. It's impossible to go and not think about your own mortality. And when I, wonder, what would mine be like? People come, what will people say? What would be the hurt of devastation of people? Then for myself, anybody, I think you process, that's a scary end to know that this is a fate you gotta, eventually meet, that you can't control or stop, whether you exercise or whatever. And the realization what people have to process is this: I wonder where I'm going. So if you can express across the people to get them to realize you don't have to really live your life with just no expectation of, deliverance of being with the Most High. You just got to mend your ways. And when people listen to what are you saying, are my ways. And a lot of people listen, they've been dealing with it, and they, like when I shacked up, I never walked up, hey, how you doing? I'm telling them I'm shacking up. All that was in the street, that's the life I lived. That was personal and private, because I knew people would judge. Some people would judge me. Some people say, hey, I live with my girlfriend. I live with my boyfriend. But some people look and say, you're not married, and y'all living. So knowing yourself, I ain't wear a t-shirt, so I ain't married. That's how we doing. We just going to live together. So I had some morality in me, although I was doing wrong in conviction. So there's some people that if they can just hear it plain as possible and then realize from you, so you done this too. You had to deal with this, because sometimes you will feel that you are the only person. Whenever you're going through something, dealing with something, it always feel like you're the only person. And that's not true. And that's because we don't conversate. We don't look at relativity of things. That it's impossible for it to just be you. It's impossible just for you to be questioning, who am I? Where am I going when I die? What happens when you go there? Am I going to be on the other side of a bunch of people? So those are questions to be answered then, and from those who's been over. But one thing we can get an assurance of, who am I as far as what I'm living? What do I believe? And how, and based off what I believe, how close, how accurate, how concise actually doing it. So some of the things that I say to people, I know they hate me. And always I look at this. There's no one that don't hate me, that I haven't affected you with what I say. It's impossible. If I say, listen here, Dwayne, homosexuality is wrong. Ain't no man got no business being no sex. You can't be, ain't no man got no business on each other back. Now, what does that do to you? You get angry, you get upset. The only way that will happen is it affects you. It affects someone that you care dearly about.
Got a point.
Those are the only people I ever affect. There's no reason. Joanne, ain't no woman got no business being a drunk in the street. Ain't no woman got no business whoring her body, selling her body. How does that hurt you? It affects you. Exactly. So now the woman who it affects, the man who has the woman, or the sister or the mother, that he knows, I know someone that's doing what you just said. That hurts me because I know it hurt them. It makes me look at them differently. So instead of dealing with the issue at hand, whether it's self or others of whom they like or know or love, it's just easy to on me.
Yeah.
Like a wound when you're talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I tell you what, man, that was a red hot sermon that you gave. Definitely, man, it ran some people out of there, but then again, it made folks to actually have to consider. So I definitely understand what you're saying, and I just appreciate being able to learn, grow, getting attracted to the word and the body it is that you teach and preach. I'm just appreciate the opportunity to be able to know you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm a lot of people might think I'm kind of modest, about things like that. I kind of shy because to me, I don't feel like I do anything special. It just angers me that other men don't, and that's the part that bothers me, because I know what we face as men, and especially men of color, but men in general. We, a man have a lot of holes. A man get that money. A man, people just told us so many things that they've associated with being a man, till we hadn't really looked at the character, who we are, what's the role we, exemplify or do. Even with women, it's gotten so bad that, I remember years ago, I was elementary, you call a girl a B. Let me tell you what's going to happen. The hands getting swung. The teacher going to know, and you going to the office, and you going to hear your mama one. And then they call your hotel. Well, I'm calling your son. He's calling another little girl to be. Hold on a minute. Especially your mom, like, what did you say? You call somebody. So it's just beating, and this hate movement on you is so strong to teach you I don't say that to a girl. I don't say that to a woman. They teach you. Look at what the channels of what it's taking me through. But now you got women who don't know their identity, so they put on, I'm a bad B.
Yep, it's our fault.
You like, hey B, oh now ho, how you? You look, you try to figure out how I'm from getting hit.
I hate it.
And I hear girls, hey B. She said, hey ho. You know what I'm saying? You're like,
that's how they talk.
Oh, you look at you saying.
It's horrible.
If you call the girl a hoe, I'm telling that word come out. Your mama a hoe. So they finna go and you scrap it. Now you finna hit her because guess what? You just call my mama a hoe, and you know what you realize. Wow, what I said was that offensive.
Right.
That we so you know whether we really grasp that there's just certain things you learn, you don't say unless it was like really fierce, y'all got into it or something maybe. But just to call a girl, hey B. But now that's come grab a girl, hey, come on, hoe, what's up? I mean, what you doing? I know. Let's Netflix and chill. I heard. Let's go to your house, watch a movie, have sex. We didn't talk like that. It was about you matured a situation to that point. You dated a situation. Let's go out and get something to eat. Let's ride around. You want to get a drink. All these things you maneuvering toward. I'm not saying it was right, but now it's just straight. Look, Netflix, chill, email. Put it on social media. One next week and chill. Come on over. You sound like. I never met. Is it because it's that bad? People don't know what they should exemplify. People don't know what's right, what's wrong. Who can really say?
That's bad.
Also, I also see nephew E sitting down in the corner while we down there talking. I see in the corner pocket. Nephew E.
Hey. How y'all doing?
Nephew, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, how y'all doing? Y'all all right?
Yeah.
Doing good. We miss you.
That's good. Yeah, I've been
seeing a few shows.
Yeah, been in MIA. I got 2 babies in high school at the same time, so they got me. When my daughter played volleyball, my son played football, and they had a football game on Thursday. So I be listening to the show while I'm at the game. Of course.
Okay.
So they put me on Thursday night for football. So I'm like, oh man. But I make sure I tune in, and today they had a bye week, so I had to make sure I show my face, come give my regards to the show. But yeah, what Love Doctor was saying. Oh, hello to everybody before I get started. To my great family, to my good people, I miss y'all. But what he was saying was right. The sermon you gave yesterday was just. Man, that was some. It hit home real good because I talk about that all the time about being a true man, and to be a true man, you got to learn it from a real man. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know nothing about being a true people. And then when I was talking about the teachers and the school system, a lot of these people are not getting these jobs because it's not in their heart to be what they are.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? For him to be a Raha and a pastor, it's in your heart. That's why you're honest and you're truthful about everything you say and how you teach the word. That's like being a teacher. People didn't be teachers because they were just something to have because I can get a good check or get a good benefit plan. It was in their heart to be educators. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the problem with the world today. People are getting things and doing things because it's a benefit that come along with it. You understand what I'm saying? And I try to tell people a lot, if it ain't in your heart to go out there and do professional work to, for people, then don't do it because things are starting to go bad now because people are not doing it because it's not in their heart. And being a pastor, I've come on a bunch of preachers, and I've never in my life heard a man preach the Bible until I heard you. And just straight understanding, just truth down the middle. You understand what I'm saying? And I grew up in the church my whole life. The man that was there to be my father was my pastor, and I've seen a lot of bad, worse things in my life, and I never understood none of that stuff till you broke everything down, and I realized, understood, man, I've been bamboozled by these people. Yep. You understand what I'm saying? And you can tell the difference between the truth and a lie. Because when you get on the truth and get on the people that's real and you start understanding and start going by it and start saying it, people gonna shun you. They gonna shun you. They gonna hate you. They're gonna dislike you. They're gonna lie on you. And I've been going through that ever since I've been listening to you. You understand what I'm saying? But I know it's right. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how it is in the school system. You know, these teachers don't care. That's why they allow anything to go on. You understand what I'm saying? With the homosexuality and stuff like that. You know, we was coming up, man, teach that crap. You understand what I'm saying? Them teachers, man, you couldn't bring that to no old school teacher like that and say, oh, we're gonna teach your kids about, man, they ain't talk about sex, let alone homosexual. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, that's just what it was.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's just how it was. But it's the people, it's the leadership, it's the people that allow it. It's the people that let it go on because it's not in their heart to groom children no more. It's in their heart because they in there for themselves. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they let anything come in because they're in there for themselves. You know what I mean? So that was real. You know, it's real bad out here, man. It's real bad. It's a joke. These people are joke, and they turning our kids into jokes. You understand what I'm saying? You know, they trying to wash out people like Raha. They trying to wash you out the way. They hear you. They know you out there. I know a bunch of people. You know, I had a cousin that was locked up that was listening to you. You understand what I'm saying? And he knew you. Yeah, he like, yeah, I listen to Pastor Smith. I said, yeah, man, he's one of the best in the world. I mean, I know the word is bigger than that, but the best man to say it in my life. In my life, I'm a 40-year-old man. You know, because you're honest. You know what I mean? And it pay to be honest. So, and this the best show I ever seen in my life. I don't listen to nothing else. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing else. I try to get people to encourage people to call in and listen in and do everything they can to represent. Because y'all care. These people don't care about us. They don't care. You know, Michael Jackson said that they don't care about us. You understand what I'm saying? When you realize that at the end of his life, they ain't never cared about us. You know what I'm saying? They're there to use us and manipulate us and turn us against one another. But at the end of the day, you know, we need people like, you know, you and Aunt Tuli and our love doctor and Miss cousin President Joe. We need people like y'all. Because y'all it's in y'all heart to do what y'all do. You understand what I'm saying? It's in y'all heart. So I hug y'all to the heart. I do. You know what I mean? Everything y'all do, everything y'all say. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was real. I mean, all your sermons are real. You understand what I'm saying? It's right. And you got to be a man. I'm gonna be a man. I told people, look, I came a man, I'm gonna die one. That's just how this gonna go. And I can't turn away from being a man. I can't do it. You understand what I'm saying? I grew up on the old school man. You understand what I'm saying? My grandfather was he was a real man. You understand what I'm saying? I learned I'd be a real man from him. You know, so I can't do it. I can't. I see a lot of guys that turned away. A lot of my friends, a lot of cousins, man, they just was weak. You know what I mean? They weak, man. I'm like, man, how can you be a man to be that weak? I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. If I lose out, I'd rather lose out, but I'd rather lose out being a man. That's just how that goes. That's just how that goes. So I hug y'all. I really do.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something too. What's on your hat? Roy Kodash said, I got a problem with that hat. He's smiling on that. What you got on that hat? He said,
well, my fault. Sorry about that.
My goodness.
Hold on. Let me get a little closer.
You didn't do that. He said, I see Roy Kodash. He said, I got a problem with that hat.
We had to show him what it was about last week, so you know, all right.
Your sound is terrible. I said, listen. I was so disgusted with him. I mean, but you know what? I realized, why am I disgusted? I never expect nothing. I said, the coach came out. I don't know. They listen. This is like the worst interview I've seen. They were asking him for the first game. You know, what's your anticipation? He said, I have no expectation. He told me I have no expectation.
Wow.
He said, listen, I lost 35 veterans from 2021. He said, I don't have Matt Ryan. He said, I don't have. He said, what about your new DB you got? He's stepping up. He said, no comment. I just don't have no. I was saying, and so when they lost, it made sense, but they really came out and looked like, I mean, it was 10. I said, these sorry Falcons, why do people put their hopes on them? And they started winning. I said, I said, well, maybe these sorry bastards will win one. I said, but that's not like them, you know. They were going. I'm like, are they serious in a couple possessions? They almost caught you. How they beat the Falcons? They don't know how they can't keep an execution. To put your trust to come there is just the worst thing you can do in your life. It's like Crystal Mill, anything, you know, and stand on the expressway. You know what I'm saying? Why? If they went to the Super Bowl and they won by 9 points and there were 3 seconds left, the Falcons will lose it. I'm telling you, they'll lose it off a field goal. That's just how the uniform is janky. That's a crow. That's not. You know, it's like
that ain't a Falcon.
other color Falcon it is than a black one. It's just
Sorry about that, Amy. You know that's just you know I know Aunt Tootie, she love them Falcons and them Braves and them Hawks. You know what I mean? I know, but I was sitting there listening. I was like, man, maybe it's their season to beat us now. And I guess when you said what you said, it just happened. You like, hey, that's the Falcons, and there it was, but all over again. But you know, tell Roy Kadash, man, you know, that's just how it is.
You know, here in Atlanta, I got a problem with it.
I know you got a bunch of them in there. I already know. That's how it is. That's how it goes. And I like I said, I hug y'all my family away from family, and I appreciate y'all for everything y'all do. Yeah, y'all really do. I'm gonna make sure I hit that cash up. You know that. You know, I gotta hit the cash up. You know what I mean? But. Oh yeah, without a doubt. Hey, I one more thing. What is a great time to call you?
I guess
because I be on you know driving, so I'm really out in the morning late time. Yeah, because I don't want to call you on that road, so I want to make sure a good time to call you. You know what I mean?
You drive trucks?
You studying? Huh?
No, you drive trucks?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Semi. That's what I'm talking about. I say, tractor trailers.
Yeah, tractor.
Oh yeah. That's yeah. I've been doing that for over 26 years. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Keep it between
yes, sir.
That's all right.
They're almost going on 6 years.
Okay.
So, yeah. So but I want to make sure a good time to call you and make sure I can call you where it won't be there won't be no problem. I won't interrupt you, nothing like that. No, but I think I got your number. In my phone. I done put the phone like 2 or 3 times, so I'm gonna find it though and look for it. If not, I'll just hit you on your email.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But I thank y'all. I'll hug y'all to the heart. Everybody, I'll hug them, man, and keep a head up. We're gonna make it though. You know
That's
what I mean? We're gonna change something in this. They ain't gonna take us out like that. So not without a fight.
Right.
Not without a fight. So. I'm gonna keep pushing understanding to everybody, and let them know, man, is this truth or nothing? That's just how that goes. Truth or nothing. So, I'll hug y'all. So I appreciate y'all.
Love you too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt.
All right, yeah. I see that Royal Kadash put on there too, and some dude claiming Atlanta let some New Orleans dude beat him down, and I get up in his stadium. It's all over. Up in the stadium. Okay, at the stadium, and it's all over social media. I'm like, oh my goodness, what are people doing? It ain't that serious. I mean, good mighty. I mean, but high school was too like that where people get to fight and over teams, whatever. That's how they get us, and they make us hate each other. Versus it being, just you playing to see who got the best talent, who got the best strategy. And then you play, and if I don't win, I'm gonna fight. If I don't win, we're gonna tear your bus up. I mean, we had something that Atlanta schools were terrible. You played Atlanta school, they let you know. Listen. As soon as it over with, you better get on the bus. They let you know.
We had to go and play those Atlanta schools. I'm sorry to say.
No, your safety.
They egged our buses every single time we went there. Every time we went. We had to get up out of it. They even changed the time we played. We even had, every time we went to Atlanta like that, we had earlier games. We didn't have 7:30, 8 o'clock. No, they moved our times up when we had to go to Atlanta. And they egged out every time.
You got to get in there and get out. Atlanta don't play that. You got to figure when they playing each other, it could be knives and guns on the field. They let you know. Listen, if we lose, y'all better get straight on that bus. Listen, you can't go to your locker room. They're gonna get to the bus and be able to get out their property. Yep. Atlanta always been out the chain, but Atlanta Falcon fan, listen, man. If you're an Atlanta Falcon fan, you need to get air conditioning. It's terrible. That's all I can say. If
I
you're a
heard
Atlanta Falcons
that.
fan, you need to get you some air conditioning, man. You ain't getting no wind. That's
Oh,
100%.
Hey man, them Atlanta Falcons, they couldn't catch a cold.
okay.
Hey,
Uh,
Atlanta Falcon, that quarterback couldn't throw a party.
Oh my goodness.
Tell a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. One class.
Moving along.
Oh yeah.
You guys
That's
play
terrible.
sports? You play sports, Tony? When you were younger?
Played all kind of stuff. Oh yeah, I did some of everything.
How long did you play?
Oh, here we go.
I don't remember now. It's been so long.
You know what you did if you did it.
I really don't think about a whole lot of stuff like that. You know, it's time so far behind me on things I've done. You know what I'm saying?
7 what went on?
7 years. Baseball. All-star. 7 years.
Oh, that's what I believe in.
Oh yeah. I would have went to the pros. The reason why I ain't go to the pros is because I wanted to have a car and I also wanted to be in the marching band. And as far as extracurricular activities, the marching band rehearsed the same time that I would have to have baseball practice. And I also it conflicted with me getting a job working after school because after school I need to go to work. That's the only reason. 7 years. Listen, let me tell you something. Pastor Smith has even seen my newspaper articles when I was in the newspaper. He was blown away too. Oh yeah.
Oh, I did. I was the midget wrestler. You did good on that one. Yeah. I mean, it was a low blow, but you know.
Oh, that's tight. Oh man. Goodness.
What was the article about?
The article is about me. I was an all-star second baseman or whatever. And they would come out to my games. They would take pictures. I'd make the front cover of the newspaper and all that stuff on a really consistent basis. I was really pretty good. I was the leadoff batter because my strike zone was lower, so it was harder for a pitcher to pitch in my strike zone. So I was the leadoff because there was a great chance I would make it on base by either getting walked or I get a good solid hit.
Yeah.
So I was
I can see that. Oh, yeah. Every time when a pitcher would throw it in the dirt, they would charge him for almost hitting him in the head. Him as a strike zone. All you gotta do is throw it to the dirt.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Most of those kids who grew up in the underprivileged, low-income communities, they're encouraged to go and play basketball, either football.
Correct.
But when you play baseball, that opens you up to a whole nother community of opportunities right there.
It's elite.
So I would tell y'all need I'm against all these organized sports, but if you're gonna do one of them, then you need to put your kid in the baseball. That's gonna put you in a position. All this basketball, football, y'all killing time. Killing time.
I have a newspaper article.
What you got? What you got? Share it with us. Oh,
what is that? Is that one about me?
Get closer. Get it closer. I want to see that head. Get it closer. Get it closer.
I can't. Oh, that's somebody else. That's no. That's about me right here. Shots. That's about me right here. Hold on, right now.
All right, Charlotte, we don't know what it's saying. We can't see it.
Oh, you know what it's saying? Okay.
But who is it?
This was I don't have no date on here, but it doesn't matter. Because anyway, it just said
older than they ain't want to keep it time back then.
Coach Eddie Roberts thought Lakeside could score points in the field events at Region 6 AAA track championship last week. But Tawanya Thompson and Keisha Waits gave the Vikings a boost Roberts hadn't expected. Thompson and Waits each placed first in the field event at Field Stadium to start Lakeside towards its second consecutive regional title.
Go ahead, girl.
There's no date on now because this thing was back in the prehistoric time.
It was me.
It was only three people on the rock at the time when she was. Man been keeping time since like way back. You know, the Greeks in 1,000 years, and you got a newspaper article that don't have a date on it. Come on. Give me some.
Sir, let me tell you something. That was me. It was written. It was me. It was written. And that's the day. I think that was the day when they came and took the picture when I was I jumping the hurdles. You know, I do have action shots. But anyway, yes. That was a newspaper article. Yeah.
Look at you out here doing your thing. Go on ahead, girl. Hats off to you out here in these streets. Go on ahead, get it, girl.
Yes. That was I was
yeah,
so
that's what I'm talking about. Tula showing receipts. Other folks talking about it. Tula showing receipts. That's what I'm talking about.
I keep everything. I try to. But Keisha Waits, she's actually a congressperson in Atlanta. If you in Atlanta, you know her.
Y'all ran track together.
Yes. We actually
on the track, y'all probably run there if y'all leave a trace
Who
of
won the
semen.
race? You did. You beat her or she beat you?
Stool in your draw.
18, Dwayne.
Hello?
Huh?
Somebody said the only way you and her can get a win today, don't worry about it now. I'll forget it.
What they say? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, yes, she
the track. Now we're talking way y'all can do track now. Somebody said y'all had to leave some stool in your draw. That way y'all can leave a track. That's why y'all can do. That's on play y'all leave track now. Run track.
We did it.
Age and time.
That's okay. It was done. So anyway,
I know you 59 years. I ain't never heard that story.
You don't know my portfolio. I be trying to. You don't know
Page
my
one.
Portfolio.
Page one. Spanish.
Wow.
El Flexio.
Page 1. A star is born. That's how that started off. That's how that book started.
Believe it. Get it, girl.
Page
Get it,
one.
girl. Yep,
Page
girl.
one. Page one. She ran a con. Her life didn't start when she met me. I'm talking about start month. Page one. She ran a con.
I had a story, honey lamb. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Tula, you was out there doing your thing in the track. He saw you. He been after you ever since. Chasing now. Look at it.
Woo! Yeah.
Just tell you about that. Didn't do no chasing. Listen, she had to come see me. She know what it was. She had done nothing. She had done nothing. She remember. She'll tell you. Listen. She'll tell you what. Listen. She had to come and see me. Listen. All she was doing run around in circles. You know what I'm saying? She had to come see me. Ain't that right? I got off the track. Ain't that right? And I got on a straight and narrow. She wasn't going nowhere. Listen. This was she was in the circle, just going around.
Wow.
Where my thing going? Absolutely nowhere.
Running in circles.
That's
round
it.
and round.
Yeah, please.
Put her out there, put on a straight and narrow now. Get off that crack. She right at you. She right at it. I tell you this, she better than Whitney now.
I'm alive. What you trying to say? Whitney Houston.
No, I'm saying you ain't where she was on that though. I'm talking where she was in her phase and where you at now.
Wow.
We don't talk about them people.
Oh, that's cold right there. That's cold.
We don't talk about them people.
Let me ask something. What is Roy Kadai put at I agree because of the CTE? What is the CTE? Is that part of that Aretha Franklin song? RESCTE.
I think that's that concussion stuff. That's that Will Smith concussion stuff.
You got
CTE. What is CTE, Roy Kadai? You got to be playing. I don't know what it is. I don't know either. There's a lot going on.
I don't know.
I'm trying to find out. But I know what that's a nice.
Oh, I think he's talking about this right here. Cute, terrific, and excellent. I think that's what he's
talking about. You.
Yeah. Because I also have something known as.
If he calling you cute,
see that right there. See that right there. Yeah. You see it, Tula.
Look at Wayne.
Yeah. First of all, that man. Hold on for a minute. First of all, that man got on basketball shoes with a baseball uniform. You know good way. That man had on a high top basketball comfort.
There's a hater in every crowd. Haters gonna hate in every crowd. Look at that.
Then them softball pants on. That man got all his uniform messed up.
You see it.
That man got a basketball. Listen, he on some basketball shoes.
You see it.
And he got on football socks. This man has way too much.
Years.
Those are not big. Those are football socks.
Listen, you talking about the life I actually lived, okay?
Oh no, I played.
That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, we showing receipts. That's what we doing out here in these streets. We showing receipts. That's what we out here in these streets doing. You know what I'm saying?
So you shrunk since then?
I want to know. I want to know, does Tony have any receipts, Tula?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Because I ain't seen it. I seen your receipts. Resident Joe, listen.
That's what I say. I kept it real in them streets.
Why we all get along?
Oh, that's cool.
You want to see my receipt?
Oh,
I take your receipt, put the right socks on them. See, if I knew I had listen.
That's fine.
No, I just had listen. Let me tell you what happened though. I had a book, right? I had a photo album, and I was staying with bastard. This was back when I was young. I was on the run then, but I had it in that pitch. I had all kind of stuff. Man, this bastard stole my book, took it back to Florida with him, and showed it grandma. Somebody knew found out told me, they say, showed him your daughter. This man claimed your daughter, had it mama down thinking it was her daughter. It was a picture of women, all kind of stuff. And I had, the folks just stole my stuff and just claimed it because people didn't have a life. But if I knew it was going to be a hater like you out here, I'd say one. I'd go down there to Florida and take it right now, but I'm sure it's gone. If I knew you had it,
stop my mouth.
I'd drop in my car right now, drive it out my garage, get out my car, and walk down to Florida way and take it and come back and say, nigga.
Understood.
I
heard that indeed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Hold on. Somebody gave an answer. CTE. Chronic traumatic. Is that
encephalopathy.
Hold on for a minute. I know. Hold. We're not talking like that on this show. You wash your mouth. You're not finna be saying on this show.
That's it.
Well, don't talk like that. Everybody be respectful to everybody. We're not doing that.
That's right. Y'all be respectful out here.
That word is bad as calling somebody mama a beat or a hoe. Don't do that. We're not doing that.
Tell Tony what that means.
I already know what it means, but we're not talking like that on him. We're gonna respect each other.
That's right. That's what we doing. I'm with him the whole way.
Life is short. We're not finna do that.
Right.
I can say this: I love you regardless of what you call us. We're not doing that.
Wow.
Scary.
That's what we gotta do. But it is scary that people we were just talking about hating, fighting one another, tearing each other down. What happened to wait your turn, respect one another? Bad name, so you know where to get in the food line. No, now we got to come on here with all this insipid topics and stuff. And now people feeling and that stuff is out here and that's a mess. We already got to plug that sweat. What?
I know.
Yeah, hit the cash app. Apologize. So we can't.
Y'all heard about that?
I want everybody to say, wash your mouth out too. Wash your mouth. Because if you type like that, I know your mouth is filthy.
That is so scary.
Go ahead.
Man,
he was convicted of child pornography.
That's what they
say. What did you say that again?
Child pornography. Oh, that's what they are. Child molestation.
Wow. What? No. Moving on. Not the same subject. We've gone. That is not what CTE means.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't heard it. We don't talk like that. Even the acronym sounds sad.
Now I said R. Kelly. R. Kelly, different letters. R. and Kelly. R. Kelly was convicted of federal child pornography on Wednesday, I think it was.
So where does he stand in the lunch line?
Who?
Because Kelly's really a first name. So put the R in front of Kelly.
Yeah, Robert.
Robert, babes.
I don't know Robert. I just know R. Kelly.
Okay.
Are they related?
Yeah, but anyway, he got this man. Ooh, it's really bad.
Listen, let me tell you what happened. R. Kelly has himself in a situation where it's people out here, and people don't want to admit this. It's people out here that block you in life. R. Kelly is responsible for a lot of great writings hits. His bad choices are choices he's made with people. It's off a society of people doing the same acts. Robert Kelly, R. Kelly, no doubt, felt like because of his talent, his longevity of being out here, he could say he could break away and felt like he controlled or he ran his own industry or himself. When you get to a certain place in life, there are people that handle you because now you move into a different setting and we can't afford you just loose and going because you create a havoc and wave, just like with Prince, and Prince is gone, you know. But I'm just telling you, you know, Michael tried it, ran his mouth. And these people that you know, you're never without being controlled. So his whole sentencing and everything is not about the child racketeer. It's not about the child sex. It's about the fact that we control the waves. We make the water wave. We the wind. And the wind does what it want to do. And we put you in this, just like Bill Cosby learned. You ain't seen Bill Cosby come out about no book. You don't see Bill Cosby. You know, they taught him, stay in the house and keep your mouth shut. We wrecked your life. And we come right back and stir. You don't see the Me Too move. They create these waves that get you out of the way. And these people know how far they can go and they know they can be touched. Him, Trump, Bill Cosby, you know, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson. They control the wave. This man was sitting here $250 million back then, which was like $1 billion in our eyes, you know, early 90s. And this man was, you know, he the champion, had all 3 belts and 20-some years old. I mean, it's me. People love me. Look at me. Well, look what I've done. I'm among the elites. I do. And they let him know, let's just go to this thing right here. Let this girl go to Rome. It's going to be your fall, like Tupac. They control. They are the wind. They are the wave. Mm-hmm. And this is a message to other people that know to come out to support him is to be sitting in prison with him.
That is so sad. That is so sad.
I didn't know that. They said they killed. Somebody said did they kill Prince and Rogers?
Prince Rogers. Gosh, Tom.
Yeah. They took out 2 of them at one time.
Ooh, let's not play with Prince. But yes. What?
Yes.
They put him down. They just, oh my gosh. Yeah. So sad.
Rogers do good with Zap. They do that, you know, had that. They used to do the auto tune. They actually brought the auto tunes out. Remember Rogers?
I sure do.
Yeah, they were working. Yeah, they were working. So here we are. You know, Donald Trump learning. This is what happened to when you go against the elite. When they put you, they'll let you do little stuff. But I'm telling you, when you reach a certain level in life, it's people that handle you. It's people assigning you to make sure that you and too many more like you don't, you know, become creative to take off. You know, one time I was a sensation on it before the people got the stupid stuff. You know, I was popular.
Yeah, I remember you had a whole lot of views.
Yeah, they learned how to shadow block you and, you know, do what they do. And now they flood, and plus they flooded with other people with nonsense. There's some stuff on it. Then you putting anything on YouTube. It's a second or something happened. Like, you know, you had your grandmother, people, anything and everything. It clutters the mind so much. When you're looking for information, you'll find more disinformation first. So that keeps the mind scattered and keeps us from becoming a people, you know, with an understanding. So, you know, this is where we at now, you know. Here we got another one here using these words. People, we gotta make sure. Okay, that's a dang. I thought somebody spelled that bad word. Bad word. Can I say a bad word, Mom? Can I say a bad word? Yeah.
Yes.
But you know, here we are, and I mean that's the thing you really should look at from radio shows, TV shows. People need to know that, and what people don't want to admit and do. And what get us to this, you know, just a thought. A lot of our people are information because of so much disinformation. You know, there's so many lying stories that when somebody says something that's happening that people don't commonly see or know, he's a conspiracy theorist. So they put people out here with a lot of disinformation. They put a lot of disinformation information. You know, Joe Biden met with an alien the other day, and he had a lizard tongue. And it's so far-fetched. It's so ridiculous that you say, how they put this mess on TV, or how is this stuff on social media?
That's
So
right.
social media, talk shows, all them talking heads are controlled by. You know what I'm saying? They got a brain. Someone gives it to them, and that, you know, they give you the news based off of what they want you to see and what they want you to know. So now, there are people, when you hear people tell you things that's, you know, based news story, words, or whatever. So I didn't hear it on the major stations, so I don't believe it. You know, these big stations all do what they do. It's still that's a big enough story they would tell us about, like the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden situation. My son Hunter, I encourage people to watch that movie. It's not long. It's very ridiculous. You know, and some at far-fetched, but they did it in a way to keep themselves from getting sued. So they said, you know, the story is fictional, but the facts are true. So cover themselves. When you come to say this didn't happen, you said in fact. I never told you that. So I just let you know that, and I tell you, I'll probably say fact check, telling you to go and find out for yourself. So you have to get credit. You have to be creative in order to get things across, because now they can sue you for anything. So it's a lot. So it just makes people not. I don't want to believe nothing. Really, I don't believe. I don't know what to believe. Those are the people those are your masses. The minority are those that sit and watch and realize there's a people that control everybody. You don't get like LeBron James. He was big, you know, in his time of playing, you know, in his name. They look at he's big on the court. He draws fanfare. People, you know, he become trendy. So they had to control him, lock him into lifelong contracts. They look, oh, the money. You think I give you $1 billion for a lifetime and I don't control your life? That's if we sell a shoe. That makes people are ignorant. Why would I give you man? What's gonna give him $1 billion, man? For this, he just gonna have to $1 billion on that man, $1 billion. Stop being stupid. They gave him $1 billion to control his life, to have their own him. Man, because the shoe is not the issue more than what I lock you into.
Man, they control a lot of stuff. Even some I want to take a moment and share is something that you were kind of talking about a little earlier this week. They actually control things that's to the degree and to the level that I never even realized. So what I actually looked at is I looked at something that's known as the Royal Commonwealth. And the Royal Commonwealth is basically the queen, now the king. These are actually, the Commonwealth are actually countries that she's actually also owns and in charge of. And did you know that she also owns Australia, the Bahamas, like literally, Her Majesty, Queen of the Bahamas. She's not just Queen of England. She's referred to in the Bahamas as the actual Queen of the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Same thing of Belize. She's actually the Queen of Canada, the Queen of Grenada, and the people who live there, they refer to her as that. It even go all the way down earlier. She's the Queen of Jamaica.
That's
the Queen
That's
of
old.
New Zealand.
They broke away. No, not Jamaica. They all acknowledge her for the territories. It just shows you the play all gone through and footprinted to control a land of people. And some of those people have, and you know how they do it is paperwork. I'm not under them, but a lot of them, they get you, and what they do, they keep you from getting the military. That way, you're on the control. You got to look to me as a savior. And that's always been the purpose of white people, to create themselves. Anything, have it come. I don't want you to defend yourself. I want you to call me and let me defend you. So now you look to me and you love me in spite of what I do to you. Having said that too, I just want to mention right quick that how they killed Prince and the guy Roger. We found out, we concluded thanks to Roy Kadash, that apparently they drowned him in the ocean. He said something about his death being fishy. So I didn't know how he died, so they apparently drowned him in the ocean.
Ooh, so lame. That is so funny. Yeah.
We got Confederate down there, don't we? Confederate 48.
Yeah, let's welcome Confederate 48. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
How you doing? All right,
can y'all hear me pretty good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. First and foremost, I want to say hello to everyone. You, Miss Tooley. Is that the love doctor with the fine white turtleneck sweater on tonight?
And you see it. Is
that, I don't have my glasses on tonight, so I think I was Resident Joe, Dr. Joe at the top.
There you go. That's right.
Okay. Sorry, dear Miss Tooley.
Yes.
last but never least, the Honorable Tony Smith. How are you
We
guys
appreciate
tonight?
it. We're doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty well. Ran into a couple obstacles, so I was not able to get in to make a couple comments earlier on, but I did get some snippets of what you guys were talking about. And there was an article that I was able to look into this morning, and I wanted to know if you guys had already touched on it. If not, are you guys aware of the Piper Lewis incident?
No.
That sounds familiar. It does sound familiar.
I couldn't
about the
understand what he said. You mind repeating what you said?
About the Piper Lewis incident. The teen that was in Iowa that killed her sex trafficker.
Yes, and she had to pay him back. Right?
Yeah, she got to pay $150,000 restitution. That's a bunch of BS, if you ask me.
That is.
Whoa.
And I wanted to see what you guys' thoughts were on that. I know we're running out of time, but I did want to share that with you all tonight, as well as as the Love Doctor was talking about the Commonwealth of these different places. You know that the Queen is a Commonwealth. She's actually over Charlotte, North Carolina, and what is the other Commonwealth? Is it not Virginia?
Virginia's a Commonwealth, right?
Virginia,
Commonwealth. Virginia, and Virginia, So that was interesting that you brought that up, but that really disturbed me to see a teen having to pay $150,000 to protect their own life when these rotten, no good law enforcement, it's just deplorable to say the least. I just want to share that with you all tonight. Hob, you all.
We'll Hob you too. We appreciate your nephew. We always call him. We appreciate y'all guys.
We'll Hob you too,
yes,
buddy.
sir.
Thank you.
How did the water distribution go? Is it still ongoing, or what's the status on that?
We appreciate you and your support. I did see your support come over, and I definitely appreciate you. We got it done. Appreciate my assistant, Alex Boston. Do a great job.
Yes,
he definitely keeps the people.
Outstanding gentleman.
If I get him something I need done, it's done. That's gonna be done. It's not gonna be. Yeah, he's gonna be on top of everything else he does. I appreciate that. Appreciate Dave. Dave, he also a business partner. They owe me something. I want to talk about the debt they owe me. I want to talk about the debt one day came through. The other money ain't important to as soon as I got through just saying that, and that's important. I need it back. But no, I appreciate him. Appreciate Sean down in Mississippi, helping to get it out. He's scrambling to get it out. Again, it just kind of hurt me in a way that I felt like I really wanted to be more people getting involved to do it and to show the care. But then let's come up with not just giving them water because we're putting money back in the system that already, is predicated on raping us through the system. Right. But saying, let us come in, let's fix the water. And then let's put you where you become in control of it. Now you become responsible for your welfare. I know that's a lot to ask. That's a lot to put out. Why should we take it? Because together and say, let's fix it. Like, let's come together, put the money together. Let's fix the water problem. You in Mississippi, you're going to help. We're going to help. Let's build it up. The guys are going to maintain it so we don't ever have to come back to it. The way we did things, what's going to stop the next situation from us flooding in to try to grab water to get to them when it's other places as well? If we don't learn and take on the need for the desire to live and be in control of our destiny, we're not learning anything. All we learn how to come throw a Band-Aid on a major gunshot wound on the ocean. A leak. Band-Aid on the ocean. It's that ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So. But I definitely appreciate it.
Rod Smith, here's the $1 million question I wanted to ask you last week.
Okay.
You always working, so I wanted to hit the $1 million question. When can we expect for you to run for any type of public office? Because oh my goodness, we need a figurehead and some type of legislation that can really get things done. At least just to know that you're out there as a candidate even if you don't get the votes that you rightfully deserve, at least that we can put a footprint in to let us know that we're here to stay, and that, like you said, there's no stopping us now.
Yeah. I tell you what I would love to do is to let us, all of us talk and meet and come up with needs and goals, and then say, coming up with finding people to get to that point, then we can say let's appoint a leader. Because I know in this society they won't allow it. It's just too many different head waves. I look at the day, and I know, but the day we had to do the funeral for one of our KBB beloved Nikki and her husband Chris. Funeral eulogy. And I tell you, boy, the old people were pissed.
Man, he was red hot, boy.
I talked to him probably 12, 15 minutes. I guess they don't take long to get the people in. But I mean, the only reason, people mind, we would think people, and everything I told them was just logical, sensible, practical. Nothing I asked them to fly, I asked them to join. I didn't ask them. It was all about really just, where are you? Do you know where you at? Nobody got it. People know. It's scary that, somebody, you would think people say, wow, I've been feeling like that. I've been concerned about it. Then you can get in the way, they can accept you as a person, say, let's listen to what you're saying. And the decision makes sense. We'll follow it, we'll support it. But unfortunately, a lot of people want people that's going to let them play, get me out of jail. Really don't, and I think the mass incarceration ridiculous. I think how long the sentences they give a lot of people are ridiculous on some cases, but the fact that just let them go because they black, I mean that's not logical. It's not practical. A lot of people they affected are their own people. So it ain't like crusader or warrior in here. You somebody you'll take from the innocent, from the baby, from the weak, from the cripple, from the handicapped. It's like we can't afford to have you out here because too many of our people in that condition. If you got a person that has a child pornography, do you send them pictures of your little girl, or your little son? No, you say no. I'm not going to aggravate the cause. I'm not going to bring you around kids because all these things are conducive to your behavior. So why are we sitting here with this kind of mentality going on? Because this is what's hurting us. We got to stop saying let you go because you black, and we got to say fix the issue. Learn how not teach them how to not be a problem to your own people and destructive to your own people. So it's gonna be a long time. If I ever try it, they'll just ignore me. They'll block everything out, and then it's not what I get 5 votes. Everybody that would vote for me, they'll throw them in the trash. I had to go get with Donald Trump and tell the people that in a creek. Millions of ballots of me flown down in the creek and nobody said nothing about it. The whole system is corrupt.
I gotta say this here. I'm gonna have to bet different on that one. You got the most high. You got the most high. You got Yahuwah Elohim on your side. And you got that's all you need. It's a little bit. He'll do the rest. I mean, but I really know that you and First Lady Miss Tula, y'all would make a very, very, very paramount statement, to say the least, for the culture, for our people, not just for our people, but for people that want to do right in general. But I know we're running out of time. I'll hop you all. If you would send a hop to Aunt Chris and the rest of the Mishpachah, TWOYSOY. And with that said, I want to say 3 things before I go. Hit that Cash App button, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. And as always, subscribe. Best show on the planet. This is Confederate State 48 signing off.
You take care too. And definitely allowing for your help. Appreciate it. Looking good.
Sir, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Definitely.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody out there. Always, we hope we came into your home and we brought a little delight and some sunshine and some thoughts to think about, consider how you can better yourself for yourself, and make sure that when your time comes, when you clock out, you can do like other people do, been working all day, you can go home. Hey, if anybody asks you, do you mind? You tell them you always mind. Every Thursday night right here on Two Mics in My Mind. And nobody told you they love you. Hey, we love you. And our language is called a heart. Tula, love Dr. Resident Joe. Take us home.
Yeah.
You got the down here.
I think he stopped. It might be his Little League socks. Wake up, everybody. Time to do something else.
Okay. So cute.
Everybody and clean up yourself. Go ahead and wash it right between your legs. Make sure you don't smell like a bag of dead fresh egg. Oh, the world needs you cleaner. Yeah. So wash right between your toes. The world needs you cleaner. So don't get dirty playing with them hoes. Yeah. Wait. Oh, Tula, come on. Oh, y'all found it. Oh, I thought I had to sing. Go ahead.
No. All right. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what's happening around you get inside and weigh you down.
What do you want me to translate?
You had to figure that out. That's what it was saying. You can figure. You couldn't catch. She had to think about.
Hey, that's that reading and comprehension. That's that reading and comprehension.
You can tell people them. Don't let the water around get in you. Are you serious?
Wow, the water get in the ship.
What is some kind of special? What is a special evil? Don't let
the water in. See, that's the problem. The water is in the boat, not the boat on the water. The water in the boat.
Let
the water stay. Let it stay around. Don't let it. So let the sun shine in.
Wow.
Feel your dream. Open up your heart and let the sun
shine.
Oh, let the sun shine in your dream. Open up your heart and let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in. Woo! And keep the water out the boat and boat in the water.
Yeah.
And they all went to heaven in a little rowboat. Quack, quack.
Appreciate y'all.
That's it. Come back and see us.
We're about to take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Julie on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love doctor going live on the radio. 2 mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up 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 on the radio. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics and a mind.
All right. You do something better. I'll do something better. And we will be better together. Until next week.
Good night, Tuli.
Good night, Wayno. Please. Wayno.